Triple H and WWE have got some balls, man, to do what they did in Scotland last night. They have got some balls, huge fucking balls, to do what they did. And we will get into that. We will get into the Glasgow screw job later in the video. But first, man, and there are timestamps, so you can skip this bit. Happy Father's Day! It's Father's Day over here in England and in the UK. Don't know about everywhere else. But what did you guys get for Father's Day, man? I got this painted tie that my daughter made me at nursery. And I got handprints. So that's what I got for Father's Day, and I'm going to spend my Father's Day relaxing, because that's what we should do. That's what we should do, man. Use Father's Days for a day where we can you can choose what you want to do. I choose to just relax because I fucking need it. Now, Clash at the Castle 2024, and the show overall, even though the ending wasn't particularly fantastic for the audience, it was a great show. Fucking fantastic. And the best way to do a layout for a wrestling show, man, is you need your opening match to be a banger, and you need your main event to be a banger. And that's what happened. So we'll get into the opening match. Cody Rhodes versus AJ Styles I Quit match. And this match absolutely fucking shocked me, because I was expecting this to be a generic WWE style I Quit match. Yeah, they use a few weapons, but there's not going to be any blood. There's not going to be any urgency, any real aggression, right? But no, I was wrong, man. So they started off pretty slow, pretty normal. Then they go into the crowd, and then they start brawling through Gorilla. I think you see Bruce Pritchard, Triple H. I'm sure I spotted Bobby Roode sat in one of those chairs. But they go through the arena, then they come back out to the crowd, and this is when AJ really takes over and just starts battering Cody to the point where Cody gets collar. And people online is saying, oh, this was a blood pack. It's a blood pack. And most of the time, I always question it, right? I always have to question it myself. Is it a blade job? Is it a blood pack? And I can safely say that I could see that there was a cut on Cody's forehead right here. It was a blade job. It wasn't a blood pack. It wasn't fake blood. It wasn't pig's blood. It was Cody's blood. A blade job. Now, I don't know if AJ did a blade himself, or if he got Cody's blood on him, but he also had some blood on his face. But this was great. And then they set up some tables, which I'm sure Jim Cornette isn't going to be very happy about, and I sort of questioned it as well. But it made sense later on. But at the same time, you know what I mean? It's like you're setting up. Let's set up this spot for later. Let's make it pretty clear that we're working with each other, right? By setting up tables for a spot later on in the match. But we'll get to that spot. But what I want to talk about first, man, is when AJ Styles went under the ring, pulled out this little bag. And Michael Cole says, oh, we know what happens in there. We know what's in those bags. Crowd's popping. My eyes are wide open, and I'm thinking, they ain't using thumbtacks in WWE. No way is that bag got thumbtacks in it. And as much as I was sort of hoping that there was thumbtacks in it, because yeah, there was no thumbtacks. It was handcuffs. The crowd went a little bit I went a little bit and commentary went a little bit so got the handcuffs out. Cody got handcuffed. AJ beat the shit out of him. Mama Rhodes, who was in the crowd, got involved. She started shouting at AJ. Mama Rhodes is over as fuck with me. Bring her in more often. But eventually, after Cody's beating the living shit out, after AJ's beating the living shit out of Cody Rhodes, Mama Rhodes slaps AJ around the face. Not once, not twice, I think 3 or 4 times. Mama Rhodes slapped AJ Styles, man, so I like that. And then AJ went and picked up a chair and started walking towards Mama Rhodes. And eventually didn't do anything, but it popped the crowd. It made the commentary fucking say, "What the fuck you doing, AJ?" So on and so on. Eventually, AJ pulls a chain out the bag while Cody's still handcuffed, wraps it around his elbow so he can do the forearm for the phenomenal forearm with the chain wrapped around his forearm. And Cody starts grabbing a chair at that time. And you can see Cody grabbing the chair, so you know what's about to happen. Sort of. Because I thought he was going to jump off. Cody was going to hit him as he was about to land. That's not what happened. AJ jumps onto the top rope. Cody just launches the chair at him. And AJ just bounces off through the table that was set up earlier. And that was a good spot. I like that. Cody starts taking control. He gets the keys for the handcuffs, takes them off him, puts them on AJ, beats shit out of AJ. AJ's cowering in the corner because he's tied to the ropes or handcuffed to the ropes. Cody picks up some steps, goes to fucking smash him, and AJ says, "I quit." Cody smashes him with the steps anyway, and that was the match. And it was a banger. It was a great way to open the fucking show. That's all I can say. It was a great way to open the show. But there is a criticism. It's hard to have something like this in the opening match, and then for every match that follows it, you know what I mean? How are they supposed to live up to what happened in the opening match? You know what I mean? So I feel like it harmed the rest of the matches apart from the main event. But absolutely great match. Cody wins, retains, AJ loses. No Gallows and Anderson, which confused me because we've seen that, I don't want to say stooges of the main event guys, but the friends, the faction members of the main event guys will travel overseas to help their friend. We saw it with the Usos. The Usos have done it plenty of times for Roman, right? Crown Jewel 2022, most notably, the Usos and Solo all went to Saudi Arabia just to be a part of Roman's match. So why Gallows and Anderson were not involved, I have no idea. But it is what it is. And then after that match, Solo Sikoa comes out. They have a stare down with Cody. And then the rest of the bloodline come out and attack Cody Rhodes. And then Randy Orton and Kevin Owens come out and save Cody Rhodes and fend off the bloodline. And then Randy Orton takes a good long look at that championship Cody's holding. And I think they're teasing that. However, that isn't going to work. As much as people want to see Cody Rhodes versus Randy Orton, okay, it isn't going to work right now. And I'm saying that because people do not want to boo Randy Orton. That's all I'm going to say. Nobody wants to boo Randy. We was without him for a year and a half. We want to cheer him. We don't want him to turn heel, okay? Trying to turn Randy Orton heel right now ain't going to fucking work. That's all I've got to say. Next match. The women's tag. Now, as you may already guess, I didn't pay attention to this match, and yeah, I didn't pay attention to this match, but I did see some things online, some clips, and Jade Cargill, man. I think we may have to start apologising to AEW. I don't want to get too deep into it, but there's a few things she did. She started tapping out at one point. I don't know why, but yeah. New women's tag team champions, by the way. Alba Fire and Isla Dawn are the new women's tag team champions. Good for them. I may not be into women's wrestling, but I do have a heart, and watching them celebrate made me somewhat emotional. So there's that. Sami Zayn versus Chad Gable. This is one of the matches I thought was harmed by the opening match, because how can you follow a brutal match like that with a technical wrestling match. It's hard. It's hard, right? And it felt like a Raw match. I'm going to be honest. It felt like an average Monday Night Raw match. But it was still a good match because it's Sami Zayn, it's Chad Gable. I mean, some of the best workers in the business right now, and they put on a banger. Unfortunately, it was harmed by the opening match, in my opinion, and Sami Zayn wins as they did a lot of shit in this match that I can't really remember most of it. The only things I really remember was the stuff with Otis, because that was a focal point of the match. Maxine was supposed to hit Sami with the chair while the referee was distracted. She couldn't do it, and then she got knocked over. She got hurt by Chad because Sami pushed him, so on and so on. Eventually, Otis has the choice of hitting Sami or helping Maxine. He helps Maxine, he picks her up, and he walks out the arena. So Chad's distracted, Sami hits the haluva kick, picks up the win and retains, and everybody's saying that this is not over. The speculation online is that Chad Gable's going to beat Sami Zayn in Canada at Money in the Bank. I'm not sure which city that's in. I don't want to say Montreal in case I offend some people, but that is where Chad Gable is, allegedly, according to fan speculation, going to beat Sami Zayn. So that's cool. That gets Chad some heat and another person losing in his home country. Bayley versus Piper Niven. You know where this is going. I didn't watch it. Next match. The main event. Drew McIntyre versus Damien Priest. And I need to have a drink, as this might be a long one. So, they did a little video package before Drew comes out, and they teased Broken Dreams, right? Everyone's thinking, oh, Broken Dreams, Drew's going to come out to Broken Dreams because that is a banger song. And he didn't. He didn't come out to Broken Dreams. And I understand why, because he was losing. Again, I complained about them doing that Broken Dreams video package, 2022's Clash at the Castle, when he lost. Right? Everything was telling us that he was winning and he lost. So, yeah, I'm not complaining, but I think the song does need to come back soon because it really does fit his character right now. It really does fit Drew's character right now. Some point, very soon, needs to come back. Get rid of the bagpipes, bring back Broken Dreams. But the match starts, the match goes on, you know what I mean? It's a standard main event WWE match. And there's only a couple of things I really remember from this match. And I'm going to talk about the elephant in the room, the thing we all remember from this match. Okay? Damien Priest goes for an over-the-top suicide dive, plunger, whatever the fuck it's called. And I think he just didn't jump high enough. Because he did the freakiest of accidents that can never, ever probably be replicated in a ring. Right, so I'm glad I watched this live. However, if that could have gone very bad, and Damien Priest could have gotten very hurt. So I'm glad he did not get hurt, because that could have ended very severely. But Priest goes to jump over the ropes. His foot gets caught in between the ropes, and he then gets tangled up and trapped in the ropes as he's diving. And you could tell straight away that this was not supposed to happen. And I'm sure I've got to give credit to Priest, because he must have felt so fucking embarrassed. He must, because the pressure's on, man. It's a main event, overseas main event, and then that happens. So then the pressure's times a million. He must have been so anxious and embarrassed. I would have been. But despite that happening, they made it work eventually. You could tell that it definitely wasn't supposed to happen because of how long they panned away from Priest and stayed on Drew. But eventually, Drew got him out. The referee couldn't get him out. Priest couldn't get himself out. Drew got Priest out and made it make sense. It didn't look like he was helping him. They made it look like that he needs to win the match. He can't win the match with Priest on the apron, right? So cool. They did a freak accident and they made it work. Great. I'm glad Priest isn't seriously injured. But we get to the finish and the referee gets knocked out of the ring. Ref bump occurs, so we know what's going on. Drew hits the Claymore. Referee's not there. And then another referee enters the ring. And they did this very well because I didn't tell it was Punk at first. I'm sure most of you did, and you're laughing at me. You'd say, "Oh, you could tell the hair," but I wasn't paying too much attention. I was paying more attention to Priest than Drew. But the referee comes in the ring. 1, 2, stops. It's CM Punk. Drew gets up, pushes Punk into the corner. Punk kicks him in the balls. Priest capitalises. Damien Priest wins. Drew McIntyre loses in Scotland. And the Glasgow Screwjob is what occurred. And we witnessed history. 2 things in one match, man. The Damien Priest spot and then the Glasgow Screwjob. So overall, man, it was a great show. It was, despite the finish being a bit disappointing. It was a great show. I honestly can't complain about much in this show. I can't. Okay, apart from the only 5 matches, I feel like a PLE should have a maximum of 7. 7 seems fine. 5, I mean, it gives people more time that are on the card to have a better match. But 5 matches, man. Every PLE since WrestleMania has been 5 matches. Give us 6. At least 6, please, next time for Money in the Bank. 6 matches, right? Cool. 4 men's, 2 women's. Everyone's happy, but let me know what you thought of Clash at the Castle 2024, man. Again, I thought it was a fantastic fucking show. Happy Father's Day to all my viewers that are fathers, and if you're not a father on Father's Day, then I suggest you Happy Father's Day to you. Like, subscribe, follow me on X at @crossman25. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you soon.